Are you ready to make the switch? Welcome back, everybody. It's Levi McPherson, author of The Switch Point Strategy, a simple approach to changing your process so that you can change your outcome. Now, what I want to talk to you today about is how to create your own wealth economy. Now, we all understand economy in the broad financial spectrum, that economies are either strong or weak depending on a number of factors. Well, believe it or not, we actually have the ability to create our own economies. Now, there are three major concepts that I want to cover today. The first is the size of the economy. Now, normally, economies are only as large as a currency will carry them. So in our own economies, a simple way to think about it is the circle of your influence, because we have multiple currencies. We don't just have money. We have intellectual currencies, we have physical currencies and others, and we'll go into those in a later session. But in this one, just understand that the size of your economy is equal to the size of your circle of influence. Okay? So the next principle that I really want you to understand is value. How value is created in the economy. Now, first of all, where does value come from? Well, most of the time value comes because demand is something that people want. Either they want it because it's for survival, or they want it because it's something that fulfills an emotional need. And then the other component that value comes from is when something's unique. So basically, the higher the demand and the higher the level of uniqueness, the more value that something has. Now, the next component that I want you to understand in relation to building your wealth economy is the strength of the economy. Economies are as strong as the currencies that are being exchanged. So if I have an intellectual property, I have something that I know, and if that intellectual property is being exchanged, the faster that it's exchanged, then the stronger my economy. Now, understand that in the real world economy, we're dealing with cash, we're dealing with that type of currency. So a value is realized only at the point of exchange, right? So if I take out 20 bucks and I exchange it for a pair of shoes, then that's the speed at which the currency is exchanging. So even though I'm putting out my intellectual property out in the world, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's when the value is realized. The value is realized when that intellectual property gets exchanged for a different type of currency. So either it gets, or it could be exchanged with the same currency. So it could be exchanged for another intellectual property in a process that we call trading. It could be exchanged for money. That's when the value is realized. It could be exchanged for something physical. I could exchange my intellectual property for a television or something else. So when you're building your own wealth economy, you have to look at those three components and then think of them in context of the switch point strategy. In other words, you've got a process. There are leverage points. There are points that you have that give you control. And what I actually want to do next, I actually want to make a few videos, and I want to talk about those points of control and how that you can get full leverage on the things within your wealth economy. So watch the next video, and we'll see you on the other side.